Hi, I'm Natalie Otteson, and you're listening to the Mindset School for Soulful Entrepreneurs, episode number 22. Welcome to the Mindset School podcast, a show for spiritual entrepreneurs who are ready to stop feeling stuck, reconnect to their soul's purpose, and create a deeply fulfilling life and business. I'm Natalie Otteson, transformational life coach and reconnection healing foundational practitioner. And I can help you scale and grow a six-figure business from a place of inner authority, wisdom, knowledge, and truth. If you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you are looking to take that first step towards your dream of running your own business, this is the show for you. Ready to step into your power and move forward with clarity and purpose? Let's go. Welcome back. I am so excited to talk about this topic, and it is coming from episode 20, where I talked about Journey of Souls, this book that I loved, which has to do with reincarnation and past life regression. And then I talked a little bit about North Node, the North Node in astrology, and how my specific North Node is in Cancer in the 11th house. And so I had some questions about that. I had a few some requests to kind of expand on some of these topics. And so I thought it would be so fun today to talk a little astrology talk, which I don't get to do when I do astrology readings or incorporate astrology into my sessions with my clients because I keep the astrology talk out of it. So today I get to kind of teach you a little bit about what the North Node is, what it means, and how you can use it in your own life. And if you stay to the end, I have a little surprise for you. So let's dive into what even is the North Node. So I had talked about, again, my North Node is in Cancer in the 11th house. And I'd kind of mentioned in episode 20 how that makes me basically the mother to the collective. So the North Node is also known as the North Lunar Node or the True Node. And it is a very significant point in astrology. It's not a physical celestial body, but it's a point where the moon's orbit intersects with the elliptical plane. So that's a whole lot of technical information about it. But basically, in astrology, the North Node is considered to represent a point of growth, evolution, and the direction you're meant to move towards in this lifetime. So the North Node is often linked to your karmic path and the lessons that you need to learn in this lifetime. So it signifies qualities and experiences and areas of your life that you might not be as comfortable with and that hold potential for personal and spiritual growth for you. So the sign and the house placement of where your North Node is in your birth chart, it can give you some really incredible insights into the areas of your life where you're meant to embrace new experiences and challenges to really help yourself grow. So I had the opportunity of chatting with somebody this morning, and interestingly enough, it ended up coming from the conversation about leaving the Mormon church. And she had kind of reached out to me and said, hey, I can totally relate to this. And I said, oh, I'd love to chat with you more about this. And so we ended up scheduling a call and ended up chatting this morning. And she's sharing her experience and I'm sharing my experience. And we ended up diving deeper into the conversation about what I do as a coach. And we were talking about what she does in her life and her career. And I'm sitting here listening to her and my brain is just going, oh my gosh. She's talking about all of these different things, the path that she wants to go down, some of the roadblocks that she's having and all of that. And I'm thinking, I want to know her North Node and I want to know what her human design is. Because one of the most beautiful things, and what I call the North Node personally, is the shortcut to enlightenment. And I love to be able to share that with my clients and also incorporate that with human design because the shortcut to enlightenment, like it said, it's this karmic path. It's these lessons that we're here to learn in this lifetime. And we can kind of accelerate that path forward if we really know what it is and how to kind of tackle it in this life. And not only do we have the karmic path, but we also have the dharma path, which is the opposite of our North Node, our South Node, and it's where we're generally the most comfortable. And it's where we can have a tendency to kind of settle in and get sediment in this life instead of really, pushing into that uncomfortableness and being able to move ourselves forward. And so, like I said, I was listening to her talk and I'm fascinated and just so curious as to, where is her North Node? Like, what's her purpose in this life? And also, how does she show up and make decisions for herself? And it's so interesting because she ended up she's a Sagittarius North Node, which is all about seeking and studying and learning and teaching, basically being a life student and really not taking life too seriously and allowing herself to go through the process of change without hesitation. And really for her to take on this larger point of view in life, in politics, in all of that. And, her South Node, where she's more comfortable, is making sure that she's not paying attention to the smaller thoughts and the smaller details of life and really getting stuck in kind of that nervous energy and inner dialogue, discouraging herself from being able to move forward and what's kind of limiting her, and making sure that she's not getting too scattered in her focus and, to really kind of be bigger picture. So it's so interesting because she gets to really tap into like what are her core values, what matters most to her, and staying in alignment with that and being able to really kind of share that philosophy with other people and to really be opinionated in this life. Like she gets to really show up and be opinionated. And she really does get this permission that she gets to speak up and speak out about what she thinks and what matters most to her, and to really not take anything too personally. And then you kind of take that and you incorporate that with this human design that she has, where she's a generator. And it's so important for her to be operating in a space of complete authenticity, complete yes for her, that full embodied yes. And she has this emotional authority where she gets to bring things into her orbit. She gets to take that yes, if it's a full yes, and she gets to try it on. And if at any point in time it no longer works for her, she gets to release it and let it go. So I didn't get the opportunity to share this with her, but she did share with me her birth chart. And I got the opportunity to kind of look this up. And I thought this is such a brilliant topic to share because when we know how we operate, when we can see the blueprint of who we are and know that there's not a mistake in how we're operating and again, even in how we can settle into things and not move ourselves forward, it's such a beautiful gift in moving us forward in a faster way, in a more focused way. So even for myself, like I mentioned, I'm a Cancer North Node in the 11th house. So for me, I get to really show up and kind of be this mom and be nurturing and really put myself first in figuring out my emotional body. But my North Node is in the 11th house, so I get to do it on a collective level. I get to do it in social groups and, internet groups and social media and friendships, right? I get to create these groups. And so I really figured out that, my shortcut to enlightenment here is to be the mother to the collective. And I really, truly have to pay attention where I want to cut myself off, where I want to get into more of that corporate or that business feel and avoid feeling emotion, because it's the emotion, it's the vulnerability. That's where I really show up and shine in this life. So also really where I get to take that responsibility and go into that self-sacrificing, so kind of becoming that martyr. And I have to really pay attention to that because that's where I want to settle in. It's so important, and kind of my homework in this life is to really track how I'm feeling and honoring my sensitivity because it's real and it's valid. And I get to, find someone or something to mother in this life. And again, to me, it's creating this collective group. And that's why I know even more without a doubt, my purpose and my path is to help these women who have left the Mormon church, because we all need to come together and create this community and support each other. I had an experience this morning where I received a message from somebody regarding the church, and it broke my heart. And I reached out to my community, the people I know who have left the church, and we had this conversation, and it just allowed me to process the information. So, and again, as a Cancer North Node, I really do have this permission that I am sensitive and it's okay. And I need family and contact and connection. It is so important for me to find a group of people to come together. And it's why I feel so drawn. It's like I'm going to burst from the seams if I don't create a community of people to come together. It's something that lives inside of me that I can't seem to move away from. And so really being able to connect with this community, and also knowing that for me, and again, this ties into my human design, that it's okay for me to go in and withdraw at times, because that's what my soul needs. I am very much an extrovert, but I am also very much an introvert. I need that time to process. I need that time to recharge, and then I can come out and reach out again. So really, truly understanding that this emotional realm that I live in, it is a gift, and that I get to help bring it together through my vulnerability. I get to bring it to the collective. So this North Node, it is such a beautiful gift of really giving you the permission of who you are, and those nudges or even those experiences that you've seen in your own life. They're so important to pay attention to and to kind of dig in and dive deep. And so knowing this for yourself, and then also being able to really take that human design on your authority, how you make decisions, how you move forward, bringing those pieces together, it really starts to give you that purpose, that path on what you're here and meant to do. There are so many more elements that kind of tie into astrology as well. Some elements that help really define this North Node is understanding your Saturn, which is your life lessons, and also understanding your rising sign. So we have our sun, moon, and rising, and our rising sign is our soul. Our sun sign is kind of the ego. It's kind of how we present ourselves to the world. The moon is our emotional side. It's the side that most of us don't see. And then the rising sign is our soul sign. And we really want our soul driving the ship. And so understanding those key elements is such a beautiful gift in looking at your chart and having somebody read your chart. And then also understanding what your life lessons are, which is where your Saturn is placed in your chart. And then incorporating that with your North Node, which is, again, your shortcut to enlightenment. It's your karma in this life. It's the things that really push you out of your comfort zone to make you the best version of yourself. So this isn't a super long episode today, but I wanted to kind of throw that out there because I want to offer you the opportunity to schedule a call with me to understand your shortcut to enlightenment. I am going to be offering free 60-minute sessions where you'll give me your birth information and I will pull up your chart and we will do a quick shortcut to enlightenment for yourself to figure out what your North Node is, and also tapping into some of that human design to figure out how you make decisions. And then you get to take that and you get to move forward in your own life, incorporating that information. And if you want to work with me on a deeper level, we will go in and we will dive into your values and we will look at additional areas of your chart. We will incorporate that into our coaching sessions together, because that's how I like to work with my clients. I love to take their chart and I love to be able to incorporate that into our sessions and how that shows up. But one of the beautiful tools that I use is my value survey. And I talked about that in one of my earlier podcast episodes, is being able to really take all of this information, figure out what you value the most, and really create a plan for you moving forward in coaching so that you can utilize your chart and your blueprint to the best of the ability to help you progress forward, and then also creating a plan for you to become the best version of yourself. So check out the link in the show notes to book your free Shortcut to Alignment call for yourself. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at Soul Sister Coaching on Instagram. I'm always there. And I so look forward to helping you discover your path, your purpose, and taking your life and your business to the next level. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you next week. All my love. Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of the Mindset School. Ready to dive deeper into finding your purpose and create a deeply fulfilling life? Visit soulsistercoaching.com for more guidance and resources. See you next week.